Here's a question I randomly debated with myself. If a fuel truck used the very fuel it was carrying to power itself, how far could it go before running empty? At first, it sounds dumb, but really, these trucks hold tens of thousands of liters of fuel. If they use some or even all of that to power themselves, could they drive across the country? Maybe even around the world? Or does the weight cancel out the gain? Before we even try to answer that, we gotta ask, what kind of fuel do these trucks usually carry? Most haul gasoline, diesel, or even jet fuel depending on the destination. But here's the thing, these trucks almost always run on diesel, unless you're flexing and somehow have an electric truck. So if a truck's carrying diesel and runs on diesel, we're good. But if it's hauling gasoline or jet fuel, no dice. Wrong engine, wrong fuel system. So for this thought experiment, we'll assume a diesel truck carrying diesel. So, how much fuel does a single carriage truck carry? Most single carriage fuel trucks carry between 20,800 to 43,900 liters. Let's average it. That gives us around 32,350 liters on an average per truck. And consider that the truck's own fuel tank can hold on an average about 511 liters. So, how much does it consume per kilometer? A fully loaded truck might burn through around 0.26 liters per kilometer. That's around 9.25 miles per gallon. Not great, but it's dragging a swimming pool behind it. Note that this ratio can change depending on various factors I'll mention later, but trust me for now. Now, let's do the math. With 32,350 liters on board, plus the truck's own 511 liter tank, we've got a total of 32,861 liters of usable fuel. That's about 61,473 Australian dollars, roughly the annual salary of a retail worker in Australia, and way more than enough to get you to like and subscribe. Anyway, at 0.26 liters per kilometer, that gives us a range of about 124,465 kilometers, or 77,339 miles before it's empty. For context, that's 3 full trips around the Earth's equator, with fuel to spare. Regarding this, there is a bit of a caveat in this logic. So I mentioned earlier that the ratio of gallons to miles and liters to kilometers can change depending on various factors. A truck's fuel efficiency isn't constant, it changes a lot during a trip. It changes with the road, the weight, the weather, even how aggressively you drive. Even with smart tech like cruise control and auto gear shifting, the environment still plays a big role. So this question might not be as simple as you might have previously thought. But here's where it gets a bit better. The truck burns more fuel just by being heavy. The truck starts off burning more fuel just by carrying its own weight, but as it gets lighter, the fuel efficiency improves. Just not enough to make the whole idea smart though. Time to get a bit worse. Burning 1 liter of diesel releases 2.68 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So if we burn all 32,861 liters, that's over 88 tons of carbon dioxide. That's the equivalent of 18 people's annual carbon footprint. So sure, you circled the Earth 3 times, but you also erased 18 people. So yeah, in essence, a fuel truck could go a long way, around 125,000 kilometers, on its own cargo. But only if it's not doing its job. It's a weird thought experiment, but it shows how much energy we burn just by moving energy around. Anyway, we'll call it science. See you in the next one.